And we are live. What is up, guys? Praxeology Prodigy coming back with another Red Pill Lens breakdown. Today we have Wanted from 2008 with fucking Charles Xavier and Angelina Jolie. Alright, guys, let's jump right into it. Actually, before I start, I just want to say this film didn't have as much intersexual dynamics as I remember it having. It has more of just like identity and red pill lifestyle choices type stuff. So, yeah, there's not going to be much intersexual dynamics. There is some parts of it with his girlfriend, but they're very cut and dry. So, yeah, but we'll make the most of it. All right, first scene we have here is Wesley's intro monologue. He's starting to talk about his life. He seems to lack identity and frame right out the gate. He's just bitching about his life and how he can't take control, and he knows his girl is cheating on him with his best friend slash coworker. I wouldn't even call this guy best friend. How can you even say this man's your best friend, right? Not even if you guys were friends since childhood, right? I have childhood friends, but I wouldn't call them my best friend if they smashed my girl, right? Just nah, they're just people at that point. But he doesn't care about life, and it seems like he's going black pill based off this monologue alone. It's just like, oh, there's no point in life, just give up, blah blah blah. And he's kind of just waiting around for something to happen, and that's not a good mentality to have. It's always best to go out and find it. Find your identity, find your burn of performance. Well, the burn of performance for everyone is just life. Every regular motherfucker that's not in the movie, that's in the real world, is just go out and grind, right? Just increase your trinity. But there's also a lack of identity in those people. But yeah, this crying about it, it's not just gonna work. He just needs to work on his trinity even more, and it looks like he's a little older, so he needs to do it now, ASAP. Harder and faster. That's what she said. So next point, we see Wesley. He has no frame. He has no finance. He's living in a shitty apartment next to this train that's loud as fuck, waking you up like 6 a.m. and shit. Sun's barely rising. And his girl is bitching to him. She's already moaning in his ears about their living situation. She's nagging to him constantly. She's saying, oh, do you think about our talk? And he's like, which one? So we know she's the one with the frame in the relationship. We know he has no frame, low status, can't even afford a decent apartment, just bitching about everything. Lets his girl and friends, quote unquote friends, walk all over him, his boss. Just spineless. He's miserable. He's just living day by day like a sheep, like a regular motherfucker. He's all like, oh, like, the best thing about the end of the day is that I already know how tomorrow's gonna go. It's just gonna go like the same thing today. And that little song, I forgot how that little song went. The little Nirvana wannabe fucking sad song, where it's like, I could see the future, like fucking telekinesis. Travis Scott, let's go. Yeah, anyway, yeah, he needs to step it up. All these issues he's having, it's on him. He can't really blame anyone else other than himself, right? You're young, you can grind it out, get more hours, work. Because carrying on to the next scene, this ties into this previous point. He's also lazy. He's late to his job. We can tell because later on in the film, that coworker of him is like, "Why? Oh, you're here on time. You're not late." Like, bro, is it really that hard to be on time to work? Not really. And why are you doing your job? His boss comes up to him. She's like, "Oh, is that the report that was due like 2 weeks ago or some shit?" She's like, "I better have that shit now within like the next hour or some shit." Dude, do your job. Show up on time. Just grind it out. It's temporary. Have backup plans. Really. You have Google. At this point in time, you have no excuse to not try to find ways out of the rat race. Just buy books, man. Fuck. Read a book. Also, why are you hanging out with the dude that's banging your chick? You don't do that. You leave her ASAP if you know she's cheating on you, and you don't hang out with this dude. You don't talk to him. You don't even acknowledge him. You just ignore him. Strictly work. Strictly work. That's it. Even then, try to minimize that. But unless you really, really have to work with him, then sure, keep it business, keep it professional. But those people are not part of your life if they're doing that shit to you. So he's hanging out with him. He goes to the gas station with him or the grocery store, and he buys him Red Bulls and shit and condoms. This guy's like, yeah, I need condoms. The ladies love watermelon and shit. And he literally buys the condoms for this guy to go fuck his girl when they're on like break or some shit. Yo, what a cuck. What a fucking cuck this guy is, man. Wesley? More like Weasel. What a fucking weasel cuck. Damn, that's sad. Anyway, next point we have here. He's crying about how people view him. He's saying, oh, people don't see what's in front of them, blah, blah, blah. He's just whining and crying about his situation. Again, he needs to take action and change things himself. Things are not going to change for him. Spoiler alert, they do. But it's because it's a movie. Right? He needs to take the Trinity into his own hands and not whine about his situation. He needs to just go out and do it. Cut and dry. That's it. Next point. We see him finally meet Angelina's character. He's buying his prescription anxiety medication bullshit. Angelina's right next to him. She's like, I knew your father, blah, blah. She sounds like a crackhead, like a meth head. He's like, I'm sorry, what's going on? What the fuck? This is that. And she's like, you apologize too much. Which he does apologize too much. She does have some good advice there. He's probably low testosterone. He seems like a low T kind of guy. He needs some keto mojo. Actually, he's shredded though. At the end of the film, we see he's shredded low key. So maybe he doesn't. Maybe he is high T. I don't know, man. This is a weird. It's just the blue pill conditioning. But yeah, he should have just been like, who the fuck are you? You're like a meth head. Why are you staring at me? Why are you so close? Just get away from me. Random person at the... I mean, but she's a little baddie, though. Angelina Jolie baddie. You should have ran the little cold approach right there. Kept it going. All right, next point. He gets to Sloane's warehouse, the assassin's warehouse, and Sloane gives Wesley good RP advice. It's a metaphor for the RP. It's not really RP advice. It's just metaphorically RP, right? So he's telling him, you have killer blood in you. You have this ability that only assassins do, that only a few people in the world have. Use it for something good. You need to harness the power of being an assassin and use it to kill people. Although it sounds bad in the movie, it's the metaphor to the RP. Use it for good. Use your laziness or your hard work to your advantage. Don't be lazy, blah, blah. If you have it in you, you have it in you. Or like Peter Parker in Spider-Man 2. When Doc Ock tells him, you have intelligence, use it for good. Don't just throw it away. Don't just let laziness erase it from your bloodline. This gives Wesley a form of identity and a burden to accept to better his shitty life. So now he has the assassin identity and a burden of avenging his father / becoming a great assassin, right? So next point we have here. We see that Wesley has confidence now and a bit more frame now that he has this new identity of being an assassin, inherently a good killer, just all these things being thrown at him. He's given his Trinity. He's giving his status and network almost. Like his Trinity is basically kind of just handed to him at this point. So he doesn't work for it. He just inherits it from his dad that he never even knew. And he's just told some monologue by these assassin people, and now he's a badass. Now he has confidence, and now he has frame. And no, man, I mean, maybe, but nah, that's just not realistic. That's just not realistic. How he just handles it so smoothly. Then he stands up to his boss, breaks out on her, says, "Yo, you're fucking annoying. You're a sorry old fat bitch that was bullied in junior high. Blah blah blah. He fucking roasts her. He fucking goes in on that bitch. Yo, that shit's funny as fuck. And then he walks up to his coworker and fucking slams that keyboard in his face, knocking all his teeth out, spelling out "fuck you." That shit's badass, man. For a 2008 film, this film is pretty fucking cool, right? And then I think he should have just walked out of his situation. He instead of blowing up, he should have just walked out. It just avoided a scene altogether. Like, what are you doing all this shit for, man? You know you're gonna walk out eventually. Just I wouldn't have even gone back to work, and I would have went right back to the assassin's house or whatever. Just fucking found my way back to them. Just accepted it now that you have something, right? So yeah, he's finally accepted his burden of performance of assassins at this point. So carrying on, the assassins are forcing the assassin slash red pill into him in a montage of boss level fights. He's basically speed running his Trinity maxing out his XP. He's XP farming. He's fighting the butcher, the fat Cuban dude with the knives, learning how to fight with knives. He's taking a beating, learning how to take a hit, building his chin from the repairman. He's learning his shooting abilities, trying to curve the bullet around the pig body or the dead bodies, whatever, from the gunsmith. And then he's, at the end of the day, he's getting his little white blood cell shower to repair his whole body, start him fresh tomorrow, and just speed running XP, which is cool, really cool. But he's being forced to zero out at the same time with that beating up from the repairman. This is done by not reading or learning or giving any context to him about the fraternity. It's all just experience. You would think they would have like a history or some kind of fucking, what's it called? The lore, the lore for the fraternity. You would think they would have some books and shit, and this is why we do what we have, or why we do what we do, why we have our code, this and that. But it's all kind of just explained to him in pieces. It's not really given to him up front, which is a cool concept, but this can be 50-50 in either breaking someone, because they could go either red pill or they could go black pill. They're not giving the full context. I know I needed all the fucking context here with the fucking books that I got and this whole series. All this context is just putting all the pieces together for me, and keep going back to it, referencing it, and it keeps me grounded and keeps me RP aware. Right? So, could go either way, 50-50. We'll see how that turns out. Next point. After forcefully zeroing Wesley out, he gets brainwashed about having a father. They're forming a narrative in his head for needing him to avenge his father. And they're giving him a purpose and a path to his life after zeroing out, which is actually pretty smart. It's good brainwashing tactics, good gaslighting. Now he takes training more serious and is trying to be as good as his quote-unquote father. And they're also giving him shoes to fill and an enemy to defeat. This creates immediately a kind of war path for him. This creates the strongest kind of purpose in this man's life, Wesley. He's also given a community / brotherhood of the fraternity, which for men, it's really, Andrew Tate says it best. When you have a brotherhood, you create the strongest bonds, and you're at your bravest, right? When people back then used to go into wars, they'd be like knights in their armor with their shields and their fucking swords. They would run straight across the field into certain death, but they're only doing that because they're with an army, right? So, yeah. And with this in mind, this is helpful for him and useful in creating the best, most competitive individuals. This creates winners, so this fraternity knows what they're doing. They're great at creating this kind of individual, right? So yeah, they do good. They do good in creating a monster, kind of, right? Next point. Wesley breaks into his apartment and he embarrasses his coworker again. This time in front of his old girl. And it also sparks indignation into his girlfriend when Angelina Jolie shows up. She's like, "Who's this? Is this your new whore? Did you pay her, or whatever?" She shows Wesley genuine desire. She just walks right up to him and just lays one on him, and she leaves that face of like, "Yes, I've been wanting to do this so bad." And they both smile at each other, and that bitch, that Taylor Swift looking bitch. Yo, she looks like Taylor Swift. That fucking white bitch. Yo. White bitch looks like Taylor Swift, bro. But yeah, she stares at Wesley. She's like, what the fuck? This sparks the ultimate indignation in her, imagination, whatever. She's wanting that. She's always wanted that from Wesley, and she finally got it. And she's like, yo, I fucked up fucking this loser. Look at who Wesley has. He has an upgrade. He replaced me and he upgraded. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, fuck Angelina Jolie, bro. Jolie. You can't get better than Angelina Jolie, man. In her prime. Is this her prime, 2008? Or is it a little early 2000? Yeah, she's 2000's Angelina Jolie's fucking prime. We'll go with that, right? But yeah, he embarrasses the guy. He's like, that's the man. He's the man. After being embarrassed, and then indignation in his girl. Perfect. Great scene. Carrying on. We get to a scene where he asks... Oh, bro, what? I can't say asks. He asks Fox about living a normal life. This is fast forward into the film when they are in Rome or wherever. They're in that little closet spying on that old guy. But Wesley has his inner blue pill dream and asks Fox about living a normal life and quitting the assassin life. She says no, but in the back of his mind, he's still blue pill because of all the contextual experiences he learned by zeroing out. But before zeroing out, it's still not fully ingrained in him, the assassin pill. We want to call it that in this film. Moving on. Wesley then finds out the truth about his father, and he was used and betrayed by the fraternity, thus zeroing out again. So he zeroed out twice now in the span of weeks, which is crazy. Now all that hate and training and everything he's learned is all focused on destroying the fraternity and Sloan because they made him kill his own father. And they betrayed him. They were about to kill him too. And this is good because at this point, his inner blue pill dream that just the prior scene we noticed, it truly dies because he goes back to that apartment. Well, this is kind of carrying on to the next point, but yeah, we go back to the apartment. Next point, we're back at the apartment. We find out through the priest guy, or bullet maker, his dad wanted a blue pill dream for his son, and the father wanted to live vicariously through Wesley a normal, innocent life. So that means his father was actually an inner blue pill, deep blue pill, trying to re-plug back in, which is a crazy plot twist. You would think someone so delved into this lifestyle would already have. Is indelved a word? Let me Google that. What did I just say? Indelved? I swear that's what indelved. 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 To bury, to dig, or to delve into, to engrave, delve. To search deeply, laboriously, delve. That is a word. I didn't even know I knew that word. What the fuck? I'm sorry, that's off topic, but I was... Holy shit, yo. What? What the fuck? Yo. My grammar is on point, boy. Let's go. Okay, where was I? I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart. I was like, is that a real word? Or did I just make that up? Yo, that's crazy. All right. We'll get Andrew Tate out here. But... yeah, his father was a blue pill. He wanted to live vicariously through his son. And the Bullet Maker tells Wesley your father wanted a different life for you, blah blah blah. At this point, Wesley denies the blue pill dream, and his blue pill dream truly dies. He says, "No, I don't want that normal life. I can't go back to it. I'm too deep into it. I've been betrayed. I betrayed my own father. I couldn't fulfill his dreams." And once he finds out that truth, it zeroes him out again, truly making him go on one last final ride, basically a death wish path, right, where he's gonna end everyone that did him dirty, and if it means he loses in the process, so be it. That's fucking dangerous. That's crazy. But yeah, he follows his father's footsteps and accepts the assassin life, killing the blue pill dream once and for all. Next point. So we have the badass scene where he infiltrates the fraternity hideout, and fast forward to Fox asking Sloan, "Is it true that you were making all this up and our names were all chosen by fate to die and this and that?" He says yes. So Fox saves Wesley by sacrificing herself in the process, and I think she felt bad for being played by Sloan too, because she was just used as a puppet. She did all that for someone else's benefit, right? And although Sloan did have a good point, if you want to follow it to a T, I invite you to put your gun in your mouth and pull the trigger. That's what he wants, right? Hey, yo, this guy, those are literally politician words. If you listen to Sloan's speech to the fraternity or whatever's remaining of them, and to Wesley, that's literally politician talk. This guy, whoever wrote that scene, was fucking on point, man. That shit was on point. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Right? So, and Fox also knew Wesley was in the right here at this point, and there should have been, and there's also some friendship aspect, right? There's some bonding that they did, kissing, whatever, this and that. So she also feels bad for Wesley. So she saves him. She takes out the remaining fraternity members in one last badass bullet bending scene. And it's funny how the only female there had the least solipsism and the strongest morals. I mean, to be fair, Sloan did brainwash the other fraternity members, like, yeah, that Wesley wants you to put your gun in your mouth and pull the trigger. But she saw right through the bush. She was like, enough of being used and betrayed. Fuck all this. She took the black pill. That's crazy. So, yeah, she went out saving Wesley. Yeah. Fucking RP female. BP female, black pill female? Who knows? But yeah, now Wesley truly loses everything. His friend, the fraternities, everything is gone, and he's going back to square one, and he finds a way to kill Sloan with a decoy method, which is pretty cool. And then at his last monologue, before that, we see that he's kind of ended. He's left with somewhat of a broken identity. He's left with a good identity. He knows what he is now, and not much of a trinity. His trinity is what's broken. He needs to fulfill that. And the film ends on who is Wesley now, what will become of him. He says his monologue that he's taken control of every aspect of his life, which is good. He has his identity, he has his burn-up performance. So it's fair to say that he's accepted all that and is truly working on it now, not bitching for the rest of his days. And yeah, he's going to live the rest of his life with this newfound identity, which is cool. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, this film didn't have much intersexual dynamics aspect to it. It had more like life red pill dynamics to it, which is, it's still fun, but yeah, this is the outro. So I'm going to do, actually before I do the outro, let me do the red pill score. Red pill score is 5 out of 10 red pill. Surprisingly, it did have good metaphors for red pill, but the film isn't as deep as, let's say, The Matrix. I know it's a fun film, I know it's not trying to be deep, but I'm just saying it's got something there, right? If you read between the lines. So, great metaphors, great action scenes, great characters, very good acting, very cool dialogue as well. Everything's just cool about this film. It's fucking awesome. 5 out of 10 red pill score, and blue pill score is just 5 out of 10. It's still blue pill, but it's a good character development, so 50-50. But yeah, now the true outro. I will be doing Prince of Persia next. I watched it a few months back, and I realized this is probably the only red pill Disney film Disney has ever put out. I might be wrong. Let me know if there are other films that are like red pill Disney films. Those are very hard to come across. And then again, I don't really watch Disney films. I just know my childhood films and then things that I've watched or came across in the past. Or if you guys have any suggestions of what kind of fiction, red pill fiction, you guys want me to break down, I'll be more than happy to do it. I'm thinking of a way how to do TV shows. I was thinking of The Boys, but that's a whole arc. Maybe I could do episode by episode, but again, that would be forever. Or I could just kind of squeeze it all into one. Oh, I could do seasons. I could do like the whole season, but it might be like an hour or too long because I have a lot of points, and maybe I could just cut off a few like fat points, and just leave the important ones. But then it won't be fun. Come on. Yeah, we'll see. I'll probably end up doing The Boys, rewatching that, or I could do Gen V. Gen V just came out, and it's the final episode streaming today. Who knows? It's about a lot of teenagers, so I don't know if there's going to be any red pill aspects. And apparently, yeah, nah, I don't know. I'd probably just do the regular Boys. But yeah, Prince of Persia is next. Do that tomorrow morning. Gonna go to the gym right now, do my 10K steps, get the timestamps done for this film, this breakdown, and then yeah, I'll be scrolling through Twitter, see if I find anything. Also, if you guys see anything on Twitter that you guys want me to react to, or anything in general, just send it to me. Praxeology Prod at Praxeology Prod on X or Twitter. I'm gonna make a Instagram soon, so I can start doing some like, I don't know if I want to make a TikTok. I don't have a TikTok personally, and I'm afraid that I would just become like a TikTok reaction channel. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that shit. I just want to talk about red pill shit and have red pill conversations. So yeah, if you guys want to do any of that or participate, let me know. Send me questions, send me fiction, whatever you guys are curious and watching. I'll be more than happy to do that. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me today. Again, timestamps will be live very soon. Peace out.